Now, in this session, we are going to conduct the practical on the shell and tube heat exchanger. Now, we have discussed about the theoretical part of this experiment. Now, I am going to show you the actual practical process and the apparatus of this shell and tube heat exchanger. So, this is the panel of shell and tube heat exchanger, where you can observe the temperature display, that is digital temperature indicators, which shows 4 temperatures, that is shell side inlet and outlet, tube side inlet and outlet. 4 temperatures are there. You can check this with the help of this knob, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can observe the temperatures of inlet and outlet of hot fluid and cold fluid. This is the main supply indicator. This is the on-off switch for the magnetic pump. So this magnetic pump is used to flow the hot fluid. These are the 2 knobs for heater 1 and heater 2, each of 1 kilowatt. This is the control panel for controlling or adjusting the temperature of heater tank, that is of hot water. So now we have set this as 59.8 degrees Celsius. So after increasing the temperature from 59.8 degrees Celsius, it is automatically cut off and again it is going to cool. So likewise, we can set the maximum temperature of the hot water in the tank. So this is the arrangement for this shell and tube heat exchanger panel. Now you can understand the actual assembly of this shell and tube heat exchanger. So this is the shell. So this shell is having approximate 500 mm length, having 24 numbers of tubes, and it is of 1-2 shell and tube heat exchanger type. So 1-2 indicates that 1 is of shell side pass and 2 is tube side passes. So in this arrangement, there is a 1 partition in the tube side passes, and that is why the tube side fluid is passing 2 times in the shell and tube heat exchanger, right? So you can observe these inlets and outlets. So this is the thermocouple which is attached to the each inlet and outlet. You can observe this inlet, outlet, inlet and outlet. So 4 nozzles are there. So 2 inlets and 2 outlets for hot fluid and for cold fluid. This is the water tank from where we can force the hot fluid into the shell and tube heat exchanger. So you must know what exactly the working principle of shell and tube heat exchanger is. Shell means outside part of the metallic case, and the tubes are present in the inside, and that is why it is called as shell and tube. And heat is exchanging, that is, it may be transferred from one point to another point. Now in this case, we are supplying the hot fluid inside the tube and cold fluid in the annulus area. So you can observe there are 2 heaters provided in this tank. This is the hot fluid flow which is excess in the shell and tube heat exchanger, and another tube is that is to insert the water in the this tank, water tank. You can also observe these rotameters. So these rotameters clearly shown that it is for cold and hot fluid. So one rotameter is to measure the flow rate of the cold fluid, and another is to measure the flow rate of hot fluid. So it is in LPH, that is liters per hour. Now we have set this cold and hot water flow rate as 150 LPH. Now this is the bypass assembly, and you can also observe the arrangement. That is nothing but the connections of the tubes. So this is the inlet supply. So from here we are getting the cold water. Now this cold water is connected to this control wall, and through this control wall it is connected to the cold water rotameter, and from the cold water rotameter it is connected to the shell and tube heat exchanger as a inside flow rate, right? In the same way, you can also observe the hot water arrangement. So here it is the tube which is attached from the hot water tank to this magnetic pump, and this pump is attached to the shell and tube heat exchanger through the rotameter again. So this arrangement should be understood by every student so that you can understand how this hot water and cold water is flowing. This is the control panel and thermocouple arrangement. So before starting the actual experiment, we must have some precautionary measures. That is, clean the apparatus and make water bath free from dust. Close all the drain valves provided. Fill water bath 3/4 with clean water and ensure that no foreign particles are there. Connect cold water supply to the inlet of cold water rotameter line. Connect outlet of cold water from shell to drain. Ensure that all on-off switches given on the panel are at off position, and then switch on the main power supply. Switch on heater by operating rotary switch given on the panel. Set temperature of water bath with the help of digital temperature controller. Open flow control valve and bypass valve for water supply. Switch on magnetic pump for water supply. Adjust hot water flow rate with the help of flow control valve and rotameter, and then after reaching the steady state temperature, you can record the temperature of hot and cold water inlet and outlet after reaching the steady state temperature. So steady state temperature means when the temperature is not changing with respect to time, right? So the stainless steel material is provided in this shell and tube heat exchangers, and I have already told that 500 mm length is there for the shell as well as for the tubes. 16 mm and 13 mm OD and ID of the tubes are available, and 24 number of tubes are available. For the temperature measurement, RTD PT100 type, 4 number of RTDs are available in the ranging from 0 to 199.9 degrees Celsius, and 2 electric heaters that is of 2 kilowatt are present in the apparatus. So it is maximum of stainless steel. So corrosion issues are not there in the shell and tube heat exchanger for this experiment. Now we can record the temperatures. So just check. This is the 1. So this knob is showing 1 and it is 47.7, and likewise you can change the temperature. Now this knob is showing 2, so it is 39, then 3, 36, 27.3, and 4, 34.3. So these are the inlet and outlet temperature of cold fluid and hot fluid. So for exact temperature, you can understand the number of these temperatures. Say for example, this is the coding. So here it is 4. So on the basis of this thermocouple and number, you can understand the switch number or the knob number of this temperature, right? So on the basis of this temperature, we can calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient, rate of heat transfer, and on the basis of that, you can understand the difference between the overall heat transfer coefficient. So we have to calculate the delta TLM value, area value, Q with the help of MCP delta T, etc. All the calculation I will show you in the next session. Thank you.